So this is going to be game 3 of 5 for tonight, being the 17th of the 4th for anyone who is trying to find this and is part of the PUBG OCE stream, or I should say Discord. Guys, just also to let you know, I am also going to be cooking off... breathe. I am also going to be kicking off a cooking stream where I show you guys how to prepare tasty stuff in bulk in the fastest and easiest way possible. The reason why I think I can do this and know I can do this is because I was a chef for 14 years. So that out of the way, we have seen some amazing games so far. We've had Saiyan Savior taking the first game with the most kills as well, with 9. And if anyone says the fastest way is the microwave, then they'll get downvoted. With the second game, Saiyan Savior actually got downed quite early on. There were a few early individual downs as well, with some vehicular manslaughter going on. The name I cannot remember, but if you do go back and watch number 2, then you will see that as well. So just having a look at the map, we are going to have quite a split drop. I'm assuming we'll have a few at San Martin, Hacienda, El Azahar, maybe a few at Los Leones. We haven't seen many squads dropping Campo because of how far away it is from everything, and we haven't seen almost any use of the North aside from, I think it was I'm going to call them mercenary squads, so just a bunch of different teams with individual players playing together, dropping El Pozo last time. And this caster is going to go get a beverage. And just a few responses to chat whilst I have the chance. Endelesia, bullet holes in cars, speed holes, air injection, very good call. Sasson also messaging me, use a microwave. Prick, biggest troll I know, and probably the most cancerous or AIDS person to play with when it comes to PUBG as well. Big shout out to him for tuning in. Love you lots, buddy. Now, I did say we weren't going to see many drops north. However, I have been proven wrong straight away with a squad going out of the plane almost immediately, but we are seeing almost everyone else holding up to my expectations with what looks to be a fair few going at least Hacienda, if not San Martin. We've got the squad back up here in the north, realizing that no one else has dropped around them, so they're just going to split and loot their own little corners looking for their perfect guns. The first squad on the ground should be purple, with Funsies and Invis as a close second landing. The second squad to actually drop, the squad out of the mass, would have been squad 14, with Zraven getting to the ground first. We are seeing a relatively large cluster all along, almost like this kind of wave here, going away from Los Leones And it looks like maybe a bit of a mistake by Prince there, dropping there, maybe unable to get the height that he needed. Now, I did think that they might have tried to push up on that individual Team 17 player, Azora, but it looks like they're just going to actually force that team to go and pick him up. With the denials of vehicles on a map like this, a super smart strategy. It'll be interesting to see how these guys go. Hustler with an M4 4 times, taking a few shots there, but hasn't really landed any as Team 17's Fade SG fades off into the distance. Again, with this map, we are seeing a lot of split drops. We're not seeing a huge amount of action early, and we are seeing individuals be caught out by other squads because of the choices that their team have made, either in their drops or their movements soon after getting out of the plane. We did see quite a similar circle with the last map. The last map being around here, and the circle finishing near La Benedita, or La Bendita. Gilsey choosing not to take any shots at Shitsun at the present time. Unsure why he is just choosing to remain there, unless he's needing to AFK for whatever reason, or potentially, I don't know, maybe look at my stream. If that is the case, I'm certainly going to keep an eye on it. Not pointing fingers, but considering I am not running with delay, it is something that I am keeping an eye on for. However, I would like to think that players at this level and this caliber are going to treat the game and the people they're playing with at least that kind of modicum of respect. Hustler taking some shots there at Ivionte and Prince, but not landing any shots as they go up and over that hill. They're not going to he's not going to get a chance to do any more damage. We've got Jam Gucci getting a shot on Rapini from the top of the hill there. Some amazing shooting. Gucci taking some shots at the other Team 7 members, leaving Rapini there as bait, which is probably exactly what it is exactly what I would do myself. Rapini's out in the open. He can't get to cover or a building. He can get easily shot by multiple people. There's no point in actually doing anything else with him. We are seeing Team 7 look to be abandoning Rabini, realizing that he is in a terrible position to try and fight, not knowing if they have got more team members in that position where Jam Gucci was. They have just decided to leave it alone. And they've also then got AQ Phantom coming in to regroup, and it looks like they might push in now. Jam Gucci getting the finish on him there. And going to the rest of the map to see, we've got Azora from Team 17 trying to light up Team 3's villains with no shots landing on the players, at least themselves. The villains are going to have at least a faster heartbeat, and I think that's going to be all. What do you think, Paul? Someone to bounce off. Going back at the map, having a look at what the squads are doing. We do have a squad here using the space there. We've got one man in Team 11 being caught significantly out by himself. Not the greatest positioning for he said what there. You can only question that it was potentially having to bail out of a vehicle. Azora getting a hit on Revo Send there from down here in the valley up on that angle. So Revo would have been shooting down at that team 7 there instead of 17 and would have just gotten snapped from the side. He is in cover now, and it does look like a perfectly placed smoke to stop any chance of their head showing as well. So Justo would have been feeling pretty happy about placing that smoke just right. That feeling when you get a job and you do it perfectly. So at the moment, the teams are still just very much like these two that we have just been watching, just engaging at range and taking any shots that they can, especially when they are catching someone out in cover, but outside of cover. And with the awesome rendering that we have here, going outside of it, we can see that AM Panda was trying to get some shots on runway up there on that ridgeline outside of Los Leones, unable to do any real damage and just worrying runway a bit. He's gonna, it seems to be, leg it and maybe regroup with his team, but it's going to be hard for him as the rest of them converge. We've got Supernova dropping. He said what? And getting the finish on him as well. So again, when I was questioning whether or not it was a good idea to kind of be apart from your squad, on a 1v1, you do have to leave it down to you being the better shot. We are seeing Hawks Can Fly here, getting dropped by No Lush from probably about 200 meters or so away with that FNFAL. I have to say, myself personally, it is my favorite DMR. It's just got such amazing characteristics as a rifle, both in real life and in this game. It's just an amazing piece of weaponry. Hawks Can Fly being caught out there. Rip from Team 8 managing to get a grenade onto Piers for Potato. And also getting the finish on him. Saiyan Savior getting Justo. Saiyan Savior getting Justo with a long range shot there. Justo's gonna be safe for a res, and it looks like no other squads are pushing up on them, so they don't have anything to worry about. We are seeing multiple squads in this area engaging in each other, so it is a bit of a menage a trois of sorts. It's not even a three-way, it's more of like a quad or quint way. We've got 404 trying to find somewhere to go, but every compound they go to, they're finding people. Rip getting a shot on Not Lush in a different part of the world, and we'll see Big Blue Bird getting some shots on Team 404 but not managing to finish. However, we do also see that Jam Gucci has managed to get a drop on Not Lush. If I was reading that correctly, I might be wrong. There is a sudden lull in fighting. We've got a bit of fighting out there in the blue. AM Tony not able to get the actual hit on Rum Rage, but able to do enough damage to make sure that he is someone that doesn't come back later and bite him on the arse. Bit more damage over here being done as well. Team 15's I7 seconds being dropped and then executed, with 404 Fisherman coming up from a different angle, getting Bundy Reaper there as well. So that'll be Team 15 out of the way. Sorry, Drop Bears, but you've been dropped yet again. We're seeing 404 Jason light up here. And he's actually placing the shots really well, getting a few early hits on him. Got Gucci dropping Big Bird again. He's Gucci over there has just been an absolute pain to anyone with that sniper rifle of his, and we're actually seeing that it's a 3 times that he's got on it, so he's not exactly equipped for that kind of range, but Jesus, is he doing some damage. Supernova getting a hit on Alan X, 404 Firefall also getting Voidless there. With Team 404 pushing up, we'll see Tony taking out TJ on that wing. We'll also see an insta finish almost for him. TJ's back in the lobby, probably not too happy about that. Firefall getting Tony, exchanging with Panda. Exchanging with RX. Panda getting the shot on the side from Firefall and the execute as well, with Jason the last one and both of the other teammates getting the downed teammates up. We'll see Team 12 getting on the action here, with Tempo pushing up on the ridgeline and Runway pushing in through that large barn. We'll see Jason also getting a few grenades thrown at his building, with none of them landing close to him. Void getting up and is still needing a bit more health. He potentially took a grenade that we might not have seen on screen. Hustler dropping Azora. Runway getting Panda, and Voidless trying to get some shots on him, not hitting any, but Panda should be in cover to get that res up, with his teammates RX covering, and Tony looking to be engaged with 404. Invis dropping Rips and someone else. Gilsey dropping Invis and Hawks Can Fly dropping Funzy. Natsabe dropping Shoe Horse Moo. And more shots in between Voidless and Tempo as they duke it out, trying to get that last Squad 12 member out of the way. Sorry, second last Squad 12 member out of the way. However, Runway has pushed up on this angle. If he can land those hits, he's going to be absolutely devastating. He's managed to get Panda, and the other teammate, Tempo, got RX. However, we're going to see that Runway hasn't managed to get Voidless. Voidless has snapped him. He's bled out. RX is the only one who isn't up but is alive. And he's not in the greatest position either. We've got Team 7 having a look at seeing what's going on as well. And we've also got some action over here with Xtol dropping Aaron T and Australia can't... Try and do that again. Chicken dropping Lush, Xtol getting Plushy, and Panda headshotting Tempos. Raven also manages to drop Xtol, and there's the execution as well. With 1 left and 3 down, that is going to be super hard for Raven to get the rest of his team up. He does have a team that looks like they are maybe going to push up if they can actually see what's going on. Prince getting a few shots on Void, Chicken getting Guffed, and Straya getting RNT. AM Tony finalising it with the Prince, and it looks to be a one-on-one currently. We've got AQ Phantom dropping Tony and going, you're not going to get up either, buddy. And it's now 1v1 with Phantom against Panda. We're going to see a few grenades out. Eviante very lucky that he didn't get downed from that grenade there. Panda just slowly pushing up. He's going to try and get the res off on Phantom, it looks like. And the kill feed, Chicken getting daffed with an M24 and 404 Jason, finalising it with AM Panda with that mini. We'll see Gilsey there from range, unloading with that AK and just melting Zraven. We're seeing grenades go out as it looks like Gilsey and the rest of his team are going to try and make use of that down to push. However, we do also have another squad taking shots at Rip. We've got Heikeman dropping Supernova, so Supernova's joined Zraven there on the ground. Zraven about to bleed out. We've got Straya Kents, it looks like, taking a few shots down at Rip and Heikeman, so it is making that their lives harder to try and get that finish. Rip getting a headshot on Power AU. Heikeman bleeding out because of Supernova bleeding out because of Heikeman previously. Power AU is going to be getting picked up off his feet very shortly from Straya. And there are still just shots going off. We've got Nat Sabe dropping Keen X, the last of that squad. Hadn't really had a chance to see much of what that squad was doing most game. We've got Chicken here as well. A little bit split from Nat Sabe. Blind pushing up to give him a hand. Looks like Plushy's the only one left of Team 11 there. We've got Straya again opening up, taking a few shots, rotating around and looking elsewhere. Plushy getting some good damage on Gilsey, who's gone down like a sack of potatoes. The grenade's going out, and it looks like it might go too far. It has gone just that little bit too far. Unfortunately for Plushy, that would have been a beautiful grenade had it landed. Gilsey, however, taking the second grenade damage and bleeding out. AFK Blind getting some shots there on Plushy from a different angle. Plushy's going to die because he's last one left. Rip's still taking some shots up there at Australia, and the rest of them are pushing in to try and find high ground, with Team 17 and Team 3 as well as 6 being the only quads left. It seems that we have got 2 duos. No? Okay. We're seeing Saiyan try and get some shots there on Chicken. Azora's got a lovely headshot on Revo up in a building. Fortunately for Revo, because he's in a building, he will get a revive. He is bleeding out pretty quickly, so it must have been his second or third down so far. We are still seeing some sporadic shooting at the moment. We've seen Rip drop Power AU. Some amazing shots there with the FNFAL that I've seen all night tonight. It has been absolutely nuts with that gun, and I've said it time and time again how beautiful it is. Jam Gucci dropping Azora there, and we'll also see some damage being put onto what looks to be Rip's team from Australia and his mate Power. Jam Gucci dropping Azora, Big Blurred, Saiyan, and Fade. Holy shit, you do look away and you miss it at times, and this is certainly one of those moments. Jam Gucci with not the clutch, but certainly an amazing piece of playmanship. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to watch that because that would have been a great highlight to put on YouTube. Rip taking some shots there at AQ Phantom and managing to get the finish on him. Hawks can fly, dropping blind. However, Invionte taking him from the side. We're seeing a bit of a pincer here, and it is not looking good for Team 8. The Incognito Academy certainly is a little bit more cognito than they'd probably want to be. Being stuck in between 2 squads, that is not the most fun in the best of time. We'll see Invionte getting Hawks Can Fly, finally getting Hawks Can Fly's bleed out, and then dropping Heikeman. Heikeman in the smoke that he was using to try and get his teammate up. We'll see Power AU dropping Revo Send and landing an amazing nade, I'm assuming, on him to get that finish without having to get out of cover. We do see Invionte getting rezzed by his teammate. However, we do see Chicken and the rest of Team 6 pushing up, trying to make good on their position. We'll see Heikeman getting executed by Rip, and we'll also see Chicken dropping... So we'll see Rip dropping Chicken momentarily before AFK Natsabe manages to finish off Rip. Wow, kill feed confusing much? A little bit of action here with Invionte. He's probably, he's certainly seen Jam Gucci. However, Prince has gotten some shots on Power AU. He's gotten away scot-free. However, we will see AFK Blind taking some shots there. However, he's going to rotate around and miss the camera angle for myself. We've got Invionte finishing off Jam Gucci over there. Prince remaining unscathed from his previous previous engagement. But we will see it is now a 2v4 with Team 6's AFK Blue with high ground. Invionte pulling out the AWP and just absolutely deleting blind. A headshot from an AWP is just a big red fuck you button to anyone who is caught in between your crosshairs. We'll see Prince trying to get the push up. Prince trying to back away because of the trade. He knows that he hasn't done as much damage to his opponent, Natsabe. However, Natsabe will get the peak after taking a bit more damage than potentially necessarily at the start. We'll see Blind finishing off Prince, and it is now a 1v3. And we've got Chicken there with the M249 for the match-winning kill on Ivionte. That wraps it up for Game 3. Thank you so much for tuning in so far, and there are another 2 games for tonight. That also concludes the 3rd recording that I will be posting on YouTube for the OCE guys who do want to watch the scrim and deconstruct anything or give me shit, I guess. Thank you again, everyone, for your support.